All chapters for Maxum are available on this YouTube channel. Thanks for listening. Chapter 13. Lunch. Welcome, class. The teacher stands up from his crisscross position. Everyone put on your relays and link. Hesitantly, I slide the relay over my finger, the memory of my previous experience fresh in my mind. I don't want to black out again, especially not in front of all my classmates. I eye the link button warily. Mr. Green stands above me, probably noticing I'm not following the instructions. What's your name, son? Zach, I say, but it sounds more like a squeak. I see you haven't clicked the link button. I've found over my years of teaching it's always the naturally gifted who fear clicking the button. You must have blacked out, didn't you? I nod, so it isn't a bad thing. Just breathe in, breathe out, and clear your mind, Mr. Green demonstrates as he speaks. Try to control your emotions before you link. I hold my breath and slowly press the button down as instructed. There's a tingle in my finger this time, followed by a sharp shock that skips up my arm. I can feel it moving closer to my brain. I'm going to black out again. My muscle twitches, the link is established. I let out a breath, not realizing I was holding it in. Mr. Green walks away with his hands behind his back. Reconfiguration is simply one of 3 core facets of manipulation. It is about changing the shape of objects. The others are translocation, the movement of objects, and transition, changing the object's state from a solid, liquid, and gas. You will learn the more advanced subjects like element jumping, cell work, and idea manipulation if you are chosen in the dance and continue your studies at Summa. A red-headed girl with pigtails shoots her hand up. So what's reconfiguration then? I'm glad you were not listening. Mr. Green picks up his wood triangle, turning it in his hands. Reconfiguration is the ability to change an object's shape. We will use this piece of wood for practice, but eventually, you can manipulate any object you see. The triangular block begins vibrating in his hand, and just like that, it becomes a wood model of a car, then a wooden knife, followed by a flower. The transformations stop when the small flower turns into a miniature, exact replica statue of Mr. Green himself, except with a massive afro. I laugh along with the class. You should have seen me 10 years ago when I had more hair, Mr. Green quips, eliciting more chuckles. Now, let's learn how to reconfigure. First, you point at the object of your desire. Stop! He calls out to a boy sitting in the back who has his relay pointed at the girl with pigtails. Reconfiguration on other maxims is unlawful. Mr. Green pauses as though he's going to say more. His smile arcs upward as he strokes the mustache above his lips. Well, stop looking at my beautiful face and give it a try. One of the black uniformed assistants places a wood block in front of me. I eye it. I'm not sure where to start or even if the surgery to become a Maxim actually worked. I point the metal tip of my finger at the wood, clearing my mind and concentrating on it. The block remains motionless. I concentrate harder, narrowing my eyes as if it will make a difference. Still, nothing happens. I remember my dad teaching me to ride a bike for the first time. It's like this, son. My dad rode around the block, the tiny bike shaking when he hit every crack in the sidewalk. I laughed, thinking he looked like a circus clown. I struggled to mimic my dad for hours, never understanding the purpose of the moving pedals. Move upward, backward. It was so confusing in my head until my dad finally turned the pedals for me. I probably need to observe someone and then give it another go. I look across at the girl I locked eyes with. She has somehow managed to not only get hers to vibrate, but she has smoothed the pointed edges of the wood into a spherical ball. Am I really that far behind? She picks up the wood ball and tosses it between her hands. Got it. Well done. The teacher holds up the ball to his bulletproof thick glasses and shows the class. Very well done indeed, Miss Hollow. Miss Hollow. The headmaster has a daughter? It makes sense now. She isn't actually good at this. She must have practiced this 1,000 times before just to flaunt it in everyone's faces on our first day of school. Closest to Miss Hollow's success is Jason. He's gotten his to twitch a little. I should feel proud for him, but all I can see is the way Sarah kisses him on the cheek as if in reward. I try again, a new energy building within me. I'm supposed to have some special ink. I should be getting this right away. The wood triangle remains still. That's all right, Zach. Most can't configure the wood the first time. The teacher pats my shoulder. A naturally strong link doesn't always constitute success. As with most things in life, it's emotions that control our abilities. Emotion? Really? All I know is I hate being looked down upon. As we draw near the end of the period, Sarah and Thomas have moved their blocks a nudge, and even Owen's block trembled for a second. Nearly everyone has gained some observable level of progress. I can sense silent eyes around me, probably observing the strain in my temple as I repeat my attempt over and over again. But I need to win. I won't lose to Jason again. The bell rings. I yank off the relay from my sweat-ridden knuckle, scanning the room. Owen gets up beside me. He might have said goodbye, but I'm not paying attention. Miss Hollow has a hint of a smile curling on her glossed lips. I refuse to give her the satisfaction of staring back. She already has enough trophies in her closet, probably ones with "family is everything" written on the side. I don't need to add to her collection. My schedule says I have lunch next. I try to avoid Jason on my way out, but he's too close to the exit. "How'd it go for you?" Jason says. He's in the mood to brag, so I remain silent, contemplating what to say. "Got it to move some," I lie. Sarah plants a kiss on Jason's smug face, whispering something in his ear. It's time to go. I have no idea what she's saying, but I don't care anymore. Hopefully none of my friends have lunch break too. I need a break from it all. I start walking down the hall. Whoa, slow down. You have lunch too? Sarah says. I fake smile and continue walking. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Like what? I say. I'm still me, Zach. Let's just have fun together. You know, like we used to. It'll never be like it was. She got with Jason. They loved, and they still do. I wish I never came to this stupid school. I just want to go home, put a pillow over my head, and listen to some 80s music. I saw you looking at that girl. Sarah raises her eyebrows twice. You getting any ideas? I gulp. She was watching me too. It's hard to tell, but there's a sense of annoyance in her voice. Or maybe it's the way she's picking at her fingernails. I know her habits by now. It's almost like she's jealous, and maybe I can use this as leverage. No, that girl is annoying. I mean, she literally had the teacher show off for her. Knew it, Sarah says. To think I used to talk about other girls with Sarah. Anna, for that matter. I couldn't do it very well then, and I'm not going to do it now. We walk down the hallway, neither of us breaking the silence. Part of me hopes she's jealous, and she has some emotion for me, that she might feel a little bit how I do every day thinking about her. I know I'm only wishing. I think about telling her how hot Miss Hollow looks, or make out something about how I gave her my correspondence account, but that would only push Sarah away further. Also, Sarah looks at her feet. You told Jason you moved your block. You lied straight to his face. I'm tired of dealing with Sarah, leading me on, then pushing me away, again and again. I shake my head and increase my pace to the cafeteria. She follows me there and stands beside me, pushing a tray down the line. Look, Zach. I move away from her, quickly placing food on my plate, and find an open seat in the back corner, far away from anyone else. She follows me there and sits across from me. I should get up and leave, but there's no one else to sit with. The food looks disgusting. Raw beets, a green-colored meat patty, and an orange sauce. But I'm starving enough to try the green meat. I immediately spit it back into a napkin. A crinkle comes across the edge of Sarah's lip, but she covers her face. I stab a bright red beet in front of me. Hey, Sarah touches my hand. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up. It's fine. You of all people know how Jason and I compete. That one just hit me harder than it should have. I wish I could tell her I didn't actually care about the wood block. The only thing I really cared about was how much it hurt every time she kissed Jason. It's okay, Zach. You'll figure it out fast. It's only the first day. She fiddles with my hand for a moment before pulling away. She looks down at her plate. This sure sucks. I've heard the lunches are more about survivorship, really. The dinners should be elegant. The pigtail girl from class sits down next to Sarah. I'm Heather, by the way. Sarah. They do an equal curl. I think we're in the same reconfiguration class, Heather says, placing her backpack on the seat next to her. Zach. I nod. I'm not in the mood for small talk. This is my only chance to talk to Sarah alone, and she's ruining it. Where are you two from? Heather swings her pigtails behind her shoulders. Sarah looks at me. We're both from Operas. You? I redirect the conversation, dragging my meatloaf to the other side of my plate. Hopefully, Heather is right about the elegant dinners. There's no way I can endure another meal like this. I'm from Ridge. Heather scoots her chair closer to us. Have you ever been to Ridge? Sarah looks at Heather, back at me, then shrugs. No, I say. It's quite nice. The entire flooring of the city is made of air columns, so it feels like you're standing in the clouds. It's close to Anabi City, but luckily we didn't have to evacuate during the human nuclear fiasco. You'll have to come sometime, Heather says, taking a bite of meatloaf and chewing it like a cow. We mainly eat poultry there, so I'm not used to these disgusting four-legged dishes. I spoke with one of the lunch workers, and they told me about the color. Heather stops chewing for a moment. After the meat ferments for a few days, it gets sandy and green. I put my fork down when I feel something hit the back of my head. It's moist, just like the meal we're eating. Braden snickers across the room, his relay pointed in my direction. Just thought I'd get some translocation practice. The lunchroom goes silent. I can picture Braden blowing bubblegum and spitting it out right in front of me during recess. All eyes are fixed on me as if waiting for my reaction, but I can't afford to draw attention to myself. I'm not a full-blooded Maxum. If I could restrain myself from punching Jason at the Venom restaurant, I can ignore this Maxum jerk. The crowd gradually resumes its usual hum of talking and clicking utensils. I overhear a few whispers directed my way. Some label me a coward, others say I'm right for not fighting back. Trust me, I knew Braden during prep school. He always gets what he... Before Heather can finish, Meatloaf zooms past my right ear, hitting Sarah in the shoulder. This is too far. I leap to my feet. Without thinking, I pelt a wad of it back at Braden. It hits him square in the jaw. Bullseye. Everyone in the cafeteria looks at me in surprise as Braden wipes his cheek. I've somehow managed to put Braden in his place on the first day of school. A boy from Reconfiguration class stands up. He gives me a salute and hurls a handful of beats in Braden's direction. It's only a matter of time before the rest of the grades follow. The onslaught looks like a tornado of red and green, giving Braden no chance to fight back. He runs out the double doors of the cafeteria to escape. I can't believe I started this mayhem. It's only a second later that Dr. Hollow bursts into the cafeteria, his face red in anger. What is going on? Everyone sits down, holding their hands beneath their bottoms, nervous glances darting my way. Maybe if I tuck my head just enough, the headmaster won't notice me. I know the prep schools send me dumber and dumber kids every year, but this? Dr. Hollow twirls his relay around and all the food particles in the room gather around him. A boy a few places away from me rushes to finish his meal, pushing it frantically in his mouth as his tray elevates away. At least someone liked the meal. The entire mess conglomerates into a monstrous meatball of beets, silverware, and green mints. The headmaster looks proportionally minuscule, perhaps less frightening. But I keep quiet when Dr. Hollow searches the crowd with his laser-like eyes. The double doors open again, and Braden slinks in behind the headmaster. Now who did you say was responsible? Braden points his shaky finger at me. The entire school remains silent, heads down, harboring the truth within them. No one dares to get into the headmaster's path, not with mentorship on the line. I should have thought more about getting into a fight on the first day of school. Sarah puts her hands on the table, but I motion for her to sit back down. There's no point in both of us facing the consequences. I move my chair, nearly slipping on a puddle of red beet juice as I stand. Come with me, Dr. Hollow commands, an artery on his neck pulsing with life, the size of a small snake. He turns around forcefully, not waiting for me to utter a word, and exits through the door. I scuttle around my chair to follow, hearing murmurs and whispers. Everyone gives me a gesture of respect as I pass. A nod, a touch on my back. They're all rallying behind me in some way or another now that Dr. Hollow is gone. Braden flicks a morsel of food off his shoulder as I approach, causing me to sidestep to get out of the way. Braden's minions laugh, but I give no hint of expression as I walk out of the door after Dr. Hollow, who is disappearing up the stairs. I'm sure I'll be expelled now. We pass floor after floor, and I wonder why we haven't used the elevator. We reach the 10th floor, and my mind hurts more than my feet. Hollow hasn't turned around yet. He hasn't said a thing. I begin counting the numbers inscribed on the walls. 20, 21, 22, 23. The skyscraper is tall, but I can't remember how many floors there are. Either way, it's too many. We pass the 49th flight, and Hollow's pace slows. My heart is pounding, and my legs feel like rubber. I'm on the verge of collapse and beginning to understand exactly the kind of power this man holds. The deafening silence between us is a breeding ground for my torture. I don't know what's coming next, and the idea of not knowing is deadly in itself. Hollow opens room 52.02 with a swipe of his disc. The entire interior is made of TV screens. Even the floor has news channels playing on it. A black glass throne behind a desk matches the rest of the room. Further behind that is a virtual map dotted with Hollow superstores, stock ticker symbols flashing on the side screens. I'm impressed Dr. Hollow can manage an entire school and a company at the same time. Dr. Hollow flicks his relay, and using manipulation, a black chair flies into his hands. He gestures for me to sit. I take a step forward. Dr. Hollow grabs the chair with both of his hands and slams it hard against the floor, the TV screens shattering beneath. A web of broken glass appears at the bottom of each of the chair's 4 legs. My heart sinks. Torture can't be allowed at school, can it? I look at the door. It's definitely locked. Take a seat. I carefully step around the glass, hopeful that it won't poke through the thin rubber of my shoes. I sit down. The headmaster settles into his throne, putting both of his hands on the armrests, his red vessel eyes glaring at me, allowing defeat to sink into my bones. His lip quivers. A smile. He laughs, not a cynical laughter, but a seemingly joyful one. My shivering stops. I let my heart beat again. I don't understand. The headmaster claps his hand. Lily!
Yes, sir.
A holographic Lily appears in life-size form next to him, the screen around her portraying her black dress, black lipstick, and black earrings. The headmaster must have designed her that way to fit the room. Everything about her is emotionless. Hollow. Fetch me a glass of pomegranate juice. Dr. Hollow snaps his fingers twice.
Yes, sir.
A glass panel rotates on his desk, and a cup fills with dark red liquid. It's the same color he drank this morning at the welcome ceremony. The headmaster turns to me, the cup balancing in his hands like we're old-time friends. How'd you do it? Well, I shift uneasily in the chair. I can't tell if this is a mind game. Create an open-ended question, so I'll confess everything. He couldn't know I was human, though. That couldn't be what he was talking about. I'd be dead already, dragged out by the premier. My body shivers at the thought. What do you mean, sir? How did you make Braden Ubel cry? Dr. Hollow stops himself from laughing again. Oh, I breathe out, feeling a weight lift from my shoulders. Maybe I won't be expelled. I chucked meatloaf at him. You're telling me that you, Mr. Taylor was it, had the guts to smack that sucker in the face? He puts the glass down, laughing hysterically again. I take it you don't like Braden? I say, pulling my feet under the chair, the shattered glass on the floor crackling beneath me. Are you kidding me? Who likes the guy? He's a spoiled jerk like his dad. Dr. Hollow tosses a gold trophy back and forth, the words Rome Champion engraved on the bottom. He smashes it into his desk, and it fissures and cracks, sending glass everywhere. A ripple goes through my bones. This man is either clinically insane or just loves smashing things. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but that guy's dad, Dr. Ubel, he's been pestering me every day about making Braden part of the premiere. Dr. Hollow stands, taking slow steps back and forth as if waiting for the right moment to pounce, like a cat hiding in wait for a bird. I continue to nod, trying not to set off another drastic mood shift. Anyways, Dr. Hollow turns on his heel. I tense up. You did me a favor, Zach. Taught that kid a lesson, but we still must punish you. Gray suits are expelled here for being out of line. There are just too many to control and so few mentor positions anyway. I can't survive out there, not without my friends. I open my mouth. But it was great. Dr. Hollow holds up a hand for me to stop. But we are bound by rulebook to give you a chance. A physical challenge that I don't recommend you take. I'll do it, I say, without needing to hear the rest. I have to stay here to learn manipulation to help HIO. I can't be separated from Sarah. Not yet. I didn't realize until talking with her that there's something still there between us. Something I'm not willing to give up on. Are you sure? Dr. Hollow waits, licking his lips. I warn you, these challenges typically end in death. My knees shake. I knew the risk I took when I chose to become a Maxum. I knew it wouldn't be easy. But I can't die. No, I won't die. Yes, I'm sure. All right, let's see. What division interests you? Celadon. I'll have Dr. Christensen prepare it then. It may take some time. Dr. Hollow drums his fingers against the desk. I don't respond. I want to burst out arguing that it isn't my fault, that the school doesn't have to be the way it is. But Dr. Hollow's dark pupils keep me silent. Don't worry, I'll see to it that Braden is punished as well. Dr. Hollow rubs his scruff as if thinking of all the ways he could use glass as a weapon. I'll take the challenge for the both of us, I shoot back, remembering the way the class rallied behind me. Gaining respect from my Maxum peers is exactly what President Stratus instructed me to do. If Braden were punished, it would look like I ratted him out. My entire life would be on repeat, like how my brother's friends ganged up on me. I can imagine that Braden would give me more than just bruised ribs. Dr. Hollow narrows his eyes, like daggers piercing my soul. But don't you want to see your enemy punished? Where's the fun in that? I slide my teeth together, trying not to let my mind wander over the forms of torture that could be done with manipulation. Isn't mercy the greatest punishment? Dr. Hollow nods his head slowly up and down. Wisely spoken.